Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It's a beautiful Friday morning. Today is Friday, February 28th, 2025. We get together most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to support and assist our partners. We have what we call resellers, sometimes referred to as grant coordinators, and they play a very important role in being able to help improve financial literacy, helping small business owners understand what does it take to get business funding, and secondly, to provide them access to our grant subsidized programming. If all is going well, my screen is shared this morning, and you'll see our agenda again for the last day of February. It's nice that we're here on the last day of February because this is a great time to be planning for next month, for March, which of course starts tomorrow. But as we look at the week ahead and the month ahead, we can reflect back on how many entrepreneurs did we help in the month of February and what could we do different in March to help even more. We have a unique model whereby as you're helping entrepreneurs, they get what they want, which is access to capital, and you're rewarded very generously. So let's go through our simple agenda for today. The first of which is we need to make sure that you're open for business, and we can even put quotes around that if you want, just to make sure that we think about this properly. So if you are a reseller, reseller and grant coordinator means the same thing, just so we know. We don't want to be confused about that. So resellers, grant coordinators means the same thing, same thing. So it's just kind of your approach. What is your mental approach in going to the marketplace? Is it that you want to educate people about the grant and the benefits of the grant? That's fine. Or are you more just pure business and you just want to go resell shelf corporations? Either way, it's the same deliverable. It's just a difference of your approach. So, what does it take to be open for business as a reseller? Number one, it costs no money. There is no cost to be a reseller slash grant coordinator. There's not even a contract that you have to sign, so you don't have to worry about, some loopholes that's going to require you to have certain production or other expectations. We've made it as simple as possible to collaborate. If you're interested in becoming a reseller slash grant coordinator and you're not one, you just simply go to 509pacific.org. This is our 501c3 website. Once you have let us know that you want to be a reseller, we're going to email you the reseller packet. It's going to come from support@guaranteedfunding.org. So you need to look for it. Now, some of you don't run your business very professionally. And I don't mean that negative, and that's not an insult at all. But some of you are using AOL, Gmail, Yahoo, porn.com. A number of you are using consumer type email accounts. So then all of a sudden, when we're sending you links and attachments, you're having trouble getting those. And so you need to make sure that you're looking for the onboarding email from support@guaranteedfunding.org. And that's your reseller implementation email. Again, nothing to pay, no contracts to sign. We're going to send you a number of resources. And one of the most important resources is an editable client agreement. So regardless what you want to call yourself, technically you're a reseller. So we're giving you our client agreement. You're removing our information. You're putting yours on. You're changing pricing if you want. And then you're getting clients to sign up. That's what you do. That is what you do. Therefore, if you have not received that email, you're obviously not open for business. If you've not edited that so clients can enroll with you, you're obviously not open for business. But a reasonably competent person can let us know that they want to be a reseller. We can send you for free that reseller implementation packet, and you should be, you could be, you would be. I feel like the Dr. Seuss book, but you should be open for business in what, 15 minutes? There's not some long lag time. Now, also on that onboarding email, you'll have the link to join us for these live Zooms. You'll also have access to the on-demand training, which is on YouTube. So that email is crucial. I have the pleasure of working with now hundreds of resellers, and this is just the most common obstacle. Oh, I don't know what to do. Well, if you want to be a reseller, let us know on the website. You'll get the email, edit the client agreement, put your information on, take ours off, change pricing if you want. I know we've had deeper discussions on that. And anytime that I'm skimming on a topic and you're like, oh, you didn't go very deep on that, you probably want to go back to our on-demand training where we've gone into each topic or most topics in depth. But the bottom line is you should be able to be open for business certainly in less than an hour. Karen asked, can you use it for yourself? Well, sure. You can use it for you or you can use it for someone else. It's the same. So let's stop there. Are we all clear on what it takes to be open for business? Because really nothing else matters if you can't master number one, if I can't be proficient in helping you understand what it means to be open for business, then nothing else matters. Are we all good there? So you might say, oh, well, I signed up or I inquired and I never received it. Okay, well, if that's the case, go back and fill out the request again. We'll send it to you again. Typically, what we're doing now is when we email you the reseller packet, in most cases, not all, we'll text you and say, hey, Anthony, hey, Ben, hey, Beth, go check your email because we just sent you the reseller packet. Because again, I understand that the reseller packet could get caught into spam or what have you, especially if you're using consumer email accounts. You run your business the way you want. We work for you. You're the CEO of your business. But if you're using a consumer email, often emails with links or attachments won't get delivered in your main inbox. So is everybody clear on what it means to be open for business? Okay, great. Super simple. All right, next, reseller marketing program. We call that RMP for short, the acronym. That is where we provide, if you wish, you don't have to do it, a landing page. And the landing page has automation, so it has drip marketing, the e-contract signatures developed for you. And I do know a number of you have bought the reseller marketing program this week. We're a little bit behind on processing everything with a very busy end of the week, but by Monday we'll have all those orders fulfilled. So no cost to be a reseller / grant coordinator. If you want the reseller marketing program, there is a cost. However, there's a scholarship, not a scholarship, a grant, sorry, not a scholarship, a grant that reimburses you for that after your first deal. You might say, well, if it's going to be free in the end, why isn't it free in the beginning? Well, you don't know our struggles. Our struggles is we work with a lot of people that say they're going to do things that often don't. And so if we just give something free, we could spend lots of time and money building all these landing pages out, but people often don't do anything. So if you want the reseller marketing program, that is in writing because now you're paying money. We will then have our team develop a landing page for you. It'll have drip marketing. You'll have the e-signature contract. It's great. It'll increase your conversions. And then after your first deal, we'll reimburse that back to you. But you don't have to do that. This isn't some shell game trying to get everyone to get the reseller marketing program. But obviously, with any trade, if you have the tools, you're more likely to be successful. And having a landing page with drip marketing, e-contract capability is helpful. Okay. Any questions on the reseller marketing program? Karen says, how does she get information? If you want this, not a problem. Just give us a call. This is the so important to know. We have two different organizations. We have a nonprofit and we have a for-profit. Some of you are confusing that. 509 Pacific is a 501c3 nonprofit. The phone number is here. It's also on the website. Where you get quick cash is here. Where you become a reseller or grant coordinator is here. So if you call the nonprofit, good chance Madison will answer or she'll call you back. You can let her know what you need and we can get it for you. Not a problem. But there is a cost for the reseller marketing program. which is reimbursed fully after your first deal. Why do we charge for it? Because if we gave it away, we'd spend lots of time and money developing landing pages with all the automation. And we know a lot of people say they'll do things, they won't, and then we'd just be wasting time and effort. So you'd pay it and you get it back after your first deal. Don't have to do it, doesn't matter to me, whatever you want. But we know our top producers have landing pages. All right. Also, when you get when you're open for business, you receive the reseller implementation email. It provides access to the YouTube training library. And so, again, I know you're busy and I know you're probably successful and I know you probably already make a lot of money, but as a reseller, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not that at all. But it is designed to get 5,000 a day up front to you. And then secondly, share 5 points of the client's capital raise. So you're looking at 25 to 50,000 for each person you refer in. That's what we project. Is it a nice side income? I think so. Is it enough to replace the big money most of you are making now, according to what you tell me? Probably not. But if you don't take the time to go through some of the training, you probably won't know what's going on. And what we can't do, and I know this frustrates some of you will want to call in and you just want, and that's going to get to our next topic here in a second, but you'll want to call in and you want us to tell everything that you need to know. Well, there's just not enough time in the day. We don't charge you to be a reseller, so we need to find efficient ways to train and support you. So we have these morning trainings, we have the on-demand training library, and just simply carefully following the instructions you get when you receive the onboarding email, you'll be off to a great start. But yes, we have a training library on YouTube, no passwords to access, prior trainings on there. So you can learn about marketing and leads, you can learn about quick cash, you can learn about overrides, all kinds of great information. It's on demand if you want it. If you don't want to worry about it, that's fine. Any questions on the on-demand training library on YouTube? Everyone has access to that. It came with their reseller onboarding email. Good, good. So I know a lot of what we're stating is the obvious, but here I am, and our team's on the other side of these transactions, these calls, these emails, these texts. And these are the topics it seems that we needed to cover. Now, as we go into March, let's skip down for a moment before we go to number 4. March goals. I think that you would agree, I hope you would agree, successful people set goals. They don't just let things happen, they set goals. So this is a great time for you and I to be together. Last day of February, we can reflect back, how did it go in February? But most importantly, what are our March goals? What do you want to do in March in terms of our joint relationship? What we would propose to you is very simple. Let's set a goal of $5,000 per day. Not get rich quick, not going to go buy you a new car, a new house, but an extra 5,000 a day, 25,000 a week, 100,000 for the month of March is very, very attainable. So if that's not your goal, that's okay, because 5,000 per day means one client per day. That's what you make on the front end. Of course, you'd make more on the back end on the performance fee. So if this isn't your goal, that's okay. But I think you really should set a goal, because success doesn't happen by accident. And you've been around, you know that. But a lot of people, they think, okay, I'll just attend to YouTube, or I'll sign up for something and I'll be successful. That's rarely the case. We need to start with a goal, often a written goal, and then we need to back into what does it take to reach that. So if you could respond in the Q&A, it's like a chat function of Zoom. Are you willing to accept the goal of 5,000 a day in the month of March? So we've got 31 days. So if we have 5,000 times 31 days, that puts us right at 150,000. And People that have never made much money before, they say, oh, that's unbelievable. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money, but there's some people that don't make much money. You and I have an engine that's credible, it's legitimate, it's real. So, but it's up to you. It's up to you. You've got to make the decision. And I think now, today is the day that you need to make your decision going into March. Success does not happen by accident. And I think Corinthian is the one that stated that. So I forget who gave me that quote, but I'll give Corinthian credit. Success doesn't happen by accident. So we got a plan for it, but it's not complicated. That's the beauty. Okay, now I want to go to number 4 because I think number 4 is maybe the most important of all. So, do I want you to be happy? Of course. And do I want you to be successful? Of course. But our number 1 goal, frankly, needs to be 100% client satisfaction. We need to make sure that we're delivering on what we promised to do. But this is complicated. This is not simple. Simple people think 100% client success or client satisfaction simple. It's not simple. A big part of it, so let's go on, as my computer seems to have frozen. There we go. Unfreeze here soon. Okay, so let's create some spacing and let's talk about client success and satisfaction. So to me, and this is how I read it, and you could view it differently. The first thing is, do we do what we promise to do? So I do not believe that success or satisfaction is necessarily doing everything that the client wants us to do, because you'll have clients that want you to do things that's outside of what we promised. And of course, we can look to help them, but we need to do what we promised to do. That has to be the starting point. So while as a reseller, we don't ask you to sign a contract and make any commitments, clients do sign contracts with you and with us when relevant. Those contracts state what both parties, it's called bilateral, what both parties promise to do. So we need to be held to doing what we promise to do. You, frankly, I think, should do what you promise to do. Clients should do what they promise to do. And that is typically in writing. The reason for it being in writing is that way we can make sure that we all have a common set of expectations. When we see a client that's not satisfied or not successful, it's typically because they have a skewed set of expectations. So let's expand on that for a moment. So here we go. So what does it take to get business funding? Does it mean that I really, really want money? I really, really need money? Or I signed up X days ago, so I should get business funding? No, it's built around having a fundable business. Why my computer all of a sudden is so damn slow. There we go. We need to have a fundable business. One of the first things that we share with clients when they buy a shelf corp from us directly, or more often from you, is we send them an email that says, hey, please watch this 27 mistake training video. If you're not very familiar with it, I encourage you to watch it. It's one of the videos that's on our on-demand called 27 Mistakes. So it goes through the larger scope of here's what lenders look for. And if we don't have these things, it could keep us from getting funded. And so that's the number 1 issue that we run into with clients is they're not fundable, but they want to be funded. And that's a financial literacy breakdown that you and I need to team up and stop letting clients think that way. If we have a fundable business, which is what we provide through the Shelf Corp, of course, then we can get business funding. Consistent with that topic is sometimes clients will want you to do things that's not what we promised to do. And so it kind of goes back to number one. And so, for example, when someone buys a Shelf Corp, the Shelf Corp has a set of deliverables. We put in writing, here is what you're getting. What clients can sometimes think is, oh, it doesn't include that. It also includes a back rub. Well, no. It didn't include a back rub. We didn't say that. We didn't write that. Didn't mean to infer that. But the client will say, no, I want a back rub. And so, and I know that's a silly example, but that can happen. And so we want the clients to understand what we promise to do is in writing, and that's what we're promising to do. But also, we ask clients to do that. To me, it's interesting. Sometimes we'll have resellers get mad at us because we ask the client to do what they promised to do. And somehow we're a bad guy for that. But that's not the way that business works. Business often works best if there's written agreements whereby all parties have a common understanding. So everything that we do with clients, I know you can become a reseller for free with no contract, but for clients, we want to have written agreements, and we provide you that editable agreement. You can change it however you want, quite frankly, but we need to make sure that we have a common set of expectations. Now, ultimately, how do we measure client satisfaction? How do we measure, this delay is killing me, client satisfaction? Well, there's lots of different ways, and of course we want to get clients funded, but in all of our agreements, we include an arbitration provision. And with the arbitration provision, it says, hey, client, if for some reason, shame on us, but if for some reason we don't do everything that you expected us to do, which we should do, but if for some reason we don't do everything that we promised to do, let's not be mean to each other. Let's not throw rocks at each other's windows. Let's sit down with an arbitrator and resolve it. It's very popular in business to use arbitration when there's just a disagreement. Doesn't mean someone's bad, doesn't mean someone's wrong. It's just like there's an inconsistency in expectations. So as long as we've been doing this, how many times do you think a client has filed an arbitration action against us? In other words, said, nope, you guys didn't do what you promised, and I want resolution. What's your guess? Go ahead and type it into the Q&A. How many times do you think a client has, through all the years, through the thousands, the tens of thousands of clients we've worked with, how many times do you think that we've had an arbitration case filed against us? What's your guess? What's that number? You think 6, 7, 8? What do you think the number is? 0. 0. 0 is the answer, and that's what Zahn said. It's 0. So not only have we lost 0 times, so it's not like, oh, we're really crafty, so get us in front of the arbitrator and we'll always win. I'm not saying that. I'm saying not even one time has a client said, oh, you didn't do what you promised to do, so let's go resolve it the way that we promised to. So if you ever hear of someone that says, oh, those people don't do what they promised to do, it requires a little more analytics, right? Oh, really? What was the promise that was broken? And then secondly, if it wasn't resolved, did everyone sit down with an arbitrator to resolve it? It's a good thing. Arbitration's not an ugly thing. It's let's sit down and let's resolve it. So are we perfect? Of course not. But expectation management's crucial. This is a picture of our company car that I drove into work today. But just let's talk about expectations. So if you went and bought a Lamborghini the way we did, and this is not bragging, you can go buy the same or similar car that we did. It's not that big of a deal. So we bought this car. When it came time to get an oil change, did we just drive into Jiffy Lube, sit in the car, and pay what, $19.99? Was that our expectation? No. When you have an exotic car, you have to make an appointment, you have to drop it off. It's there for several days, and it costs you about $4,000 to get an oil change and a tune-up. So expectations have to be different. People sometimes say, "Oh, well, I've got to schedule appointments with you people. That's horse shit. I shouldn't have to schedule appointments." It's expectation management. For those of you that have worked in law firms, you normally don't just call up and call the legal team and they're just there at the phone waiting to take your call. That's not the way that legal firms work. You normally schedule appointments. That's the way it works. And we are a legal or a paralegal firm. So we need to schedule appointments. And some people, oh, that's horrible customer service. Well, maybe if you're thinking you're calling Dollar General and you're asking if they have your favorite personal lubricant in stock. But if you're working with professional service firms, they often work by appointment, and we work by appointment. And so we do the best we can to make those appointments. So we need to do what we promise to do. We need to continue to remind clients, yeah, we're never going to keep you from getting funding, but we need to have a fundable business. And we want to make sure clients are 100% satisfied. And if they're not, then let's resolve it the way that we promised, because we want you to be 100% satisfied and the clients. So wrapping it up, we'll be back full week next week, Monday through Friday. We only had 2 days this past week because of travel. But if you need to call the nonprofit, you can call the nonprofit. Typically, Madison will answer or respond. I see the call log. A number of people will call in, they won't leave a message. And then they're like all pissed off. Well, Madison didn't answer. Well, yeah, but because Madison's working with other clients, right? When you have a nonprofit, you normally don't staff up where you have 80 people sitting there waiting for you to call. So the phone rings, and if she can answer it, she answers it. And if not, there's a voicemail system, and then she returns the call. From the advisors like myself, we all have scheduled appointments. We schedule appointments with clients. I had a lady yesterday, she thought we were just scumbags because we couldn't call her back immediately. And I said, "Ma'am, I'm literally on the plane right now. I'm literally on the plane." "Well, if you cared about your clients, you'd call me." What the fuck? I'm on the plane. The door is closed. Schedule an appointment. So we have to manage expectations. As a reseller, you can be that interface with the clients. I realize you've hired us to do the work, but normally we schedule appointments. But if you need, with the advisors, but if you just want to call, you can call in. And it may take up to 24 hours to get a return call, because that's the way that it works. If anyone needs quick cash, you can get it directly from 509 Pacific. And if you are not yet a reseller, yeah, so anyone that needs a call, I monitor. And so Rod wants me to facilitate Madison calling him. I can't do that. Rod, I love you. You're the most important person in the world to me, but I have other things I've got to do. Rod, just call this number and leave a message. And I'm confident Madison will call you back. Call this number, leave a message. Now, we've had a very busy week, right? We had our symposium. Most of us were traveling, busy into the week, but we'll get back with everyone. So thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow. I'm sorry, Monday morning, 8 a.m. Central. Have a great day. Let's have a successful March together. Thanks. Bye.